Good evening, good morning, afternoon, depending on where you're joining this meeting from. I welcome all the members to the 26th Annual General Meeting. This meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. We have the requisite quorum present through video conference to conduct the proceedings of the meeting. Participation of members through this video conference is being reckoned for the purpose of quorum as per the circulars issued by MCA and Section 103 of the Companies Act 2013. The quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. Before we start the main proceedings of the meeting, I will call on all the directors who are present on the video conference to introduce themselves. Before I start getting all the directors here, let me first of all introduce myself. My name is Manish Gupta. I'm the Chairman, Exec Director, and CEO of Indegene Limited. With that, now let me request Sanjay to introduce himself. Sanjay.
Thanks, Manish. Good evening. I'm Dr. Sanjay Suresh Parikh. I'm the Executive Director as well as the Executive Vice President of Indegene, joining from the registered office of the company at Bangalore. Thank you.
Now, can I request Rajesh to introduce himself?
Good evening. Namaste. This is Dr. Rajesh Nair. I'm a non-executive director of Indegene Limited. I'm joining in from Yardley, Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh. Can I now introduce, or can I now request Neeraj to introduce himself?
Good evening. I'm Neeraj Bharadwaj. I'm a non-executive nominee director on the board of Indegene Limited. I'm joining the AGM from Palo Alto, California. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj. Can I now request Jairaj to introduce himself?
Good evening. I'm Jairaj Manohar Purandare, non-executive independent director and chairperson of the Audit Committee and the Stakeholders Relationship Committee, joining in from Mumbai.
Thank you, Jairaj. Can I now request TVG to introduce himself?
Thank you, Manish. Good evening, everyone. I'm Krishnamurthy Venugopala Theneti. I'm a non-executive independent director and the chairman of Nominations and Remuneration Committee and the Investment Committee, joining from Toronto.
Thank you, TVG. May I now request Praveen to introduce himself?
Good evening. I am Praveen Vidyavara Bhadyarao, joining the AGM from my residence in Bangalore. I'm non-executive independent director of the company.
Thank you, Praveen. May I now request Georgia to introduce herself?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Georgia Nikolakopoulos Papa Thomas, non-executive independent director, joining in from my office in Madison, New Jersey.
Thank you, Georgia. May I now request Suhas Prabhu, our Chief Financial Officer, to introduce himself?
Thank you, Manish. Good evening. I'm Suhas Prabhu, Chief Financial Officer, joining in from the registered office at Bangalore.
Thank you, Suhas. May I request Srishti to introduce herself?
Thank you, Manish. I'm Srishti Ramesh Kaushik. I'm the Company Secretary and Compliance Officer of Indegene Limited. I'm joining this annual general meeting from our offices and registered office in Bangalore. Thank you.
Apart from them, we also have our key executives and senior management joining from their respective locations. Statutory auditors and secretarial auditors have also joined this meeting. I now request Srishti, Company Secretary, to provide general instructions to the members regarding participation in this meeting. Srishti.
Thank you, Manish. Firstly, welcome everyone to our first annual general meeting as a listed company and 26th annual general meeting in general. This meeting is being held through video conference mode. I would like to take you through certain points regarding participation in this meeting. The facility of joining the AGM through video conference or other audio-visual mode is being made available for all the members on a first-come, first-served basis. All members who have joined the meeting are by default placed on mute mode by the host to avoid any disturbance arising from background noise and also to ensure smooth and seamless conduct of the meeting. Once the Q&A session starts, the moderator will announce the name of the shareholders who have registered as speaker shareholders one by one. The speaker shareholder will therefore be unmuted by the host. To start speaking, I request the speaker shareholder to click the video on button. If you're unable to join through the video mode for any reason, please speak on the audio mode only. While speaking, we request you to use headphones or earphones so that you're clearly audible, and it will also minimize any background noise. Ensure that no other devices are connected in the background. No background applications are running. There is proper lighting to have a good video and audio experience. If there is any connectivity issue at the speaker shareholder's end, we will move from the current speaker shareholder to the next speaker shareholder. Once your connectivity improves, we will call you back to speak once the other speaker shareholders who have completed their turn. We would like to request the shareholders to limit your queries to 3 minutes so that it allows everyone to ask their questions. During the AGM, if any member faces any technical issues, please contact the NSDL helpline number mentioned in the notice of the annual general meeting on page 27 or refer to the FAQs on the NSDL website. Companies Act 2013 provides for electronic voting. Accordingly, the company has provided its members the facility to cast their vote through remote e-voting system administered by NSDL. The facility for e-voting during the meeting is also provided for all the members present here who have not voted yet. Members may please go to the voting page of NSDL's e-voting platform and cast their vote. Mr. Madhavesh K., Practicing Company Secretary, has been appointed as a scrutinizer to scrutinize the votes cast during the meeting and through the remote voting facility. Since the AGM is being held through video conference or other audio-visual means, and the resolutions mentioned in the notice convening this AGM have already been shared and already been put to vote through remote voting, there will be no proposing and seconding of resolutions during this annual general meeting. Thank you. Manish, over to you.
Thank you, Srishti. The company has taken all feasible efforts under the current circumstances to enable members to participate through video conference and vote at the AGM. I thank all the members, colleagues of the board, auditors, and management team for joining this meeting over video conference. With that, I'm going to be shifting to a small description about Indegene and a small address. And for that, let me also start with this presentation. Now, dear shareholders, on behalf of the Board of Directors of Indegene, I welcome all of you at our first annual general meeting as a listed company. We listed on 13th May 2024, and this milestone coincides with Indegene celebrating 25 years of redefining healthcare. This development marks a new chapter in our journey and inspires us to continue our path to great excellence. Thank you very much for being part of the journey, and thank you for your presence here today. Given this is our first meeting, I would like to spend some time talking about what we do as a company, the opportunity we are addressing, talk about the industry, and how we see the next few years. We'll also spend some time talking about the highlights for the last financial year, which is FY 23 and 24. With that, let me straight away jump into the discussion. As Indegene, we are a very unique company, unique globally and definitely in context of India. When we found this company more than 25 years back, the whole idea was that we will operate at the intersection of deep medical and healthcare expertise and technology expertise, as you can see on the slide over here. We define our purpose as helping healthcare organizations be future ready, and we have stayed true to that purpose for the 25 years of our existence. Today in the marketplace, we are known as a digital-first commercialization partner to the global life science industry. By the global life science industry, we mean the pharmaceutical companies, large and mid-size, top 20 pharma, 20 to 100 pharma. We also include the medical device industry in this and the emerging biotech industry. As Indegene, today we have 63 active clients, and we work with all the top 20 global pharmaceutical companies. Our revenues for the financial year FY24 were INR or rupees 25,896 million, which is a 12.3% growth over FY23. We have around 5,081 employees. And with that, let me switch to the next slide. Out of which 4,422 are delivery employees, Now, out of the delivery employees, 21.5% are from a life science background. These are medical doctors, PhDs, pharmacologists who are working on one hand with data scientists, data engineers, analytics professionals, software engineers, and on the other hand with people like omni-channel strategists, brand strategists, creative directors, and very specialized profiles. So as you can see, there are multiple skill sets, multiple functions coming together across geographies to deliver solutions for our clients. As you can see on the slide, we have 17 offices across the world, and we have people with very specialized skill sets, which I alluded to earlier, working out of these different offices. We need these specialized people and these offices because most of our engagements with our clients are global in nature, which means we are helping our clients across their products and across their important markets for a very long period of time. And I'm going to come back to this theme and explain what I really mean by this. Now, let's just spend some time explaining what I meant when I said we are a digital-first commercialization partner. What does that mean? Now, if you think about the life science industry, there is work done in the laboratory where scientists are working to come up with a new product. The new product could be a biological or could be a chemical compound. And when there is enough regulatory or there is enough clinical data which is gathered in the lab, pharmaceutical companies file for a patent and also try to get permissions to do clinical trials. Subsequent to that, there are multiple processes that are required to get a drug to the market. These processes are marketing and sales, regulatory affairs, pharmacovigilance or drug safety, regulatory affairs, medical affairs, and of course, clinical trials. All these processes which are outside of the lab that are required to get a drug to the market is how we define the entire commercialization process. And as Indegene, we help companies at one level bring a drug from the lab to the market, and of course help them navigate the entire process of being in the market till the patent has expired. That's what we mean by digital-first commercialization partner. Now, the next question is, what do we bring to the table, right? Now, these are processes that are being run by the pharma industry for a very long period of time, right, for decades. Our promise as Indegene to the industry is that we help pharmaceutical companies or the life science industry run these processes, all the commercialization processes, in a very modern way, the way they should be in this world of digital and AI, and in a way bring very significant amount of effectiveness and efficiency in the process. So that's what we mean by a digital-first commercialization partner. Now, we as Indegene engage and work with the business owners, the P&L owners, sales and marketing teams, global commercial ops, chief medical officers, chief commercial officers, head of regulatory and safety and clinical operations. Those are the target segment which we address and work inside our client organizations. That's very different from what we've been used to, especially over here in India, given that we are familiar with the IT side of things, where the focus is more on the CIO organizations. So that's some of the things which I alluded to earlier, whether it's people, skill sets, and obviously the target segments and the problems we are trying to solve, which make us very different than any other organization present over here. Now, we've been reporting our revenues in 4 segments: enterprise commercial solutions, enterprise medical solutions, omni-channel activation solutions, and some revenues in a segment called others. Enterprise commercial solutions and omni-channel activation, these two put together are the segments through which we address the sales and marketing budgets in the pharmaceutical companies. These two together constitute more than 70% of our revenues. Enterprise medical solutions, or EMS, is a segment where we are addressing medical affairs, safety, and regulatory functions inside a pharma company. As you can imagine, most of these are medical in nature. The reason we split sales and marketing spends into 2 segments, enterprise commercial solutions and omni-channel activation, is because in enterprise solutions, which is our largest segment, We engage with customers globally, regionally, across all their brands. Our engagements are not at one brand or one product or two product level, but it's for a specific geography. Our engagements cut across many, many countries and pretty much all the brands of our client life science organization. On the other hand, in omni-channel activation, which is today a smaller percentage of our revenues, we engage at an individual brand or a therapeutic area in a particular country. And when I say particular country, today, for this part of our business, our focus has been primarily the United States and a few Western European countries. While we are at this, the focus from a geographical perspective, let me also talk about our revenue split from a geographical perspective. Our revenues very closely follow the life science industry spend on operations. Where the largest spends are the United States, followed by Europe, and then rest of the world. So if you think about it, 66% of our revenues come from the United States, 31% approximately from Europe, and the remaining is rest of the world, which is very close to the life science industry spend trends and numbers. While we are at these percentages, let me also double click on some more percentages and a kind of a mix of our business and revenues. 72% of our revenues in FY24 came from the top 20 global pharma companies. Our customers, these top 20 pharma companies, as you can imagine, are very large companies. I reckon most of them will be in Fortune 500 list, and that's our predominant revenue base. Now that's broadly the geographical footprint and the large pharma and mid-sized pharma footprint we have. Let me come back to the segments. I spoke about enterprise commercial solutions being enterprise engagement, not at a product or a one product or two product level, but these are across brands, across many countries. Enterprise medical solutions is very similar. It is approximately 23% of our business and is across products. If you think about it, enterprise commercial, which is around 59%, plus enterprise medical, which is 23%, this total up to 82% of our business. Both these businesses are across a portfolio of products. So to that extent, we don't have the variability of one brand or two brands. There's a significant portfolio. At one level, you can think about these segments being a proxy to the entire industry, given we operate in, given our client footprint across the world. The reason we as Indegene are excited about the opportunity in front of us is because this is a very large market and it has been changing over some time. With that, let me just jump to some bit of industry characterization and also explaining the industry we operate in, given that we are addressing the global innovation-driven life science industry. This is a very large industry. It's $1 trillion in size, from a revenue perspective, approximately $10 trillion market cap. The operations spends in this area, which are addressable to us, which we highlighted in our RHP, is more than $135 billion. This excludes manufacturing, supply chain, and distribution spends. Sales and marketing, the place where we have our largest footprint, contributes to around 35% of the spend. Spends in all the areas we are operating in, which is sales and marketing, clinical and regulatory, safety, medical affairs, is increasing at a rate of 6 to 7% annually. Outsourcing is growing at a much faster rate, around 9 to 14%, depending on the segment. It is higher on the sales and marketing side. Apart from this increase in spend and outsourcing, there's also a shift to digital, more and more from the traditional channels of reps or more people-oriented way of doing things. There's a shift to digital and even AI ways of doing things, which increases our addressable market. If you think about it, the global life science companies spend more than 25% of their revenues on an average on SG&A. And by the way, in that SG&A, sales and marketing spend is the predominant spend. More than half of the top 30 pharma companies are spending more than 25% SG&A. They spend approximately 15% on R&D, which is the regulatory, clinical, and safety part of the business. All this presents an opportunity for us to use digital solutions to drive better physician and patient engagement while reducing costs, right, by deploying more digital rather than physical channels and having an omni-channel approach of engagement. The ROI on R&D investments for this industry have been declining year on year, and that's no secret. There have been many articles written on it. Last year, US also introduced the Inflation Reduction Act. This, we believe, is going to put more pressure on the R&D spend and timelines. And again, over time, it's going to present an opportunity for us to use digital and AI to bring down the cost and timelines for trials, regulatory submissions, and various processes around that. Now, those are trends that excite us, and we believe there is a large opportunity in front of us, given the size of the industry we operate in, our very strong position in this industry, the client base, capabilities, technology, and investments we have made all these years. All this coming together make us believe that we have a decadal growth opportunity in front of us. Now, let me put a caveat with that. This is a highly regulated industry. It's also a very conservative industry. So while there is this imperative to change, and change they will, we believe, it takes time to adopt new methods and these companies to change. With that, let me just now talk about some of our, given that we are introducing ourselves as a listed company, let me also talk about some of our historical performance. While we are new as a listed company, as a company, we have been operating for more than 25 years now. So if you think about our historical performance, and not only in context of last year, the last decade, we grew at a CAGR of 31%. We have a long track record of growing our revenues. While growing our revenues very early on, we also focus on profitability. We also focus on what we at Indegene call an entrepreneurial spirit with prudence. And we call that as one of our core cultural themes, which has enabled us to not only open up new frontiers, but done that responsibility while focused on profitability, cash flow generation, and other very important things. Because of that, we have also maintained very high return on capital employed. Our ROCs have been pretty much in the range of 34.5 over the last decade. Now, given this backdrop, we believe that over the next few years, we will be creating a much larger and a much more impact-creating company. The growth will not be linear. There will be some years and some quarters of high growth. There will be some years and some quarters of low growth. With that, while we are at growth, now let me just dive into our growth strategy. One of our key focus areas for growth is going to be deepening our client footprint. We have various client categories. We call out active engagements or active customers. We call out more than $1 million customers. We call out $1 million to $10 million customers. We call out $10 to $25 million customers, and then 25 million plus customers. That's how we've been reporting our revenue base from a customer perspective. Our most important focus area is going to be just deepening our footprint in this existing customer base. We're moving to that $50 million, $75 million customer size from the 25 we have right now as the highest category. Increasing the number of $1 million customers from that active customers, increasing the number of $1 million to $10 million, 10 to 25, 25 plus, and as I said earlier, breaking in the barrier of that 50 and hopefully at some point in time $75 million. So client mining at one level is going to be one of our most important growth strategies or approaches. Along with that, we'll continue to expand our capabilities, strengthen our existing capabilities, continue to invest in them. We believe there's enough headroom available over there. Continue to stay relevant for the industry, and continue to focus on operational efficiency as we've always done. We also have cash on our balance sheet, which we intend to use for strategic tuck-in acquisitions and acquisitions. That's something, again, in the past we have done well. In the past, we have identified acquisitions. We have gone ahead and got those transactions done at the right prices, integrated the companies, used them to expand our propositions, our offering to our clients, and finally, our client footprint and solution footprint. We'll continue to do that in the future. While we drive growth on the customer capability front and through acquisitions, we never lose sight of the fact that we are a people-driven company. Our extremely talented team is our biggest asset and strength. We continue to invest in this team through leadership and management development programs, a positive work environment, and the right rewards and recognition program, among many, many other things. A little bit on our ESG journey. Indegene has demonstrated significant progress on sustainability practices and commitment to GHG targets. We have published comprehensive sustainability data, and our performance has exceeded expectations of clients and various stakeholders who have an interest in our sustainability plans. We are in compliance with the requirements of the applicable regulations. Let me also take this opportunity to express our gratitude to our board of directors who have been primary force determining our corporate governance policies with accountability, transparency, fairness, and responsibility as the fundamental governing principles. Also, our corporate social responsibility activities are aimed at enabling communities to be future ready and make a meaningful impact. Our strive to meaningfully contribute to the development and sustainability of the societies that we are a part of. Our CSR policy and initiatives revolved around harnessing our medical and technology expertise and combining it with the collective desire of our team to make a meaningful contribution to improving the health of our society. That's a broad introduction to the company, the industry, the environment we operate in, and how we see the next few years from a strategy and what we're going to focus on. With that, let me come to the FY24 financial performance. Here are the key highlights. Revenues grew 12.3% to INR 25,896 million. Adjusted EBITDA was INR 5817 million in this year. So I should have representing a margin of 22.5%, which is up 28.1% year on year, so that we had a 28% growth in our adjusted EBITDA. Net profit was 3,367 million, which was a growth of 26.5% year on year. This also included some interest costs. We have subsequently paid down the loan that was part of the IPO raise, and we have used our IPO proceeds to pay off this loan earlier this year. Diluted EPS was INR 15.07, which is up from INR 11.97 in the previous year. Our balance sheet remains strong with cash and cash equivalents at INR 1886 million, providing ample liquidity. Our return on capital employed and return on equity continue to be greater than 25%. With that, I would like to wrap up the discussion for today. We are happy to take your questions. Once again, thank you so much for your continued trust and support. With that, I want to pass it back to you, Srishti, to provide a summary of the auditor's report, list out our resolutions set forth in the notice, and explain the sequence of the meeting and process of voting and the resolutions in the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish. The statutory auditors, BSR & Co. LLP, have issued an unqualified opinion on the standalone and consolidated financial statements of the company. The statutory auditors' report on standalone and consolidated financial statements, respectively, are available on page numbers 125 and 193 of the annual report. There are qualifications in the secretarial auditor's report. The secretarial auditor's report is enclosed as Annexure 3 to the board report on page number 86 of this year's annual report. The management's response to the qualifications are also provided along with Annexure 3. Since the notice has already been duly circulated to the members, we take the notice convening this AGM as read. We now take up resolutions as set forth in the notice. We'll open the floor for any questions by members after all the resolutions are tabled. I will now read out the resolutions. Item number 1, adoption of financial statements. The financial statements of the company, including the consolidated financial statements for the financial year ending March 31, 2024, and the reports of the Board of Directors and Auditors have already been provided to the members. Item number 2 is appointment of Dr. Sanjay Suresh Parikh as a director, liable to retire by rotation. Item number 3, appointment of Mr. Neeraj Bharadwaj as a director, liable to retire by rotation. Item number 4, to ratify the Indegene Employee Stock Option Plan, ESOP plan, including the Indegene Employee Stock Option Plan, CSOP plan, and the Indegene Employee Restricted Unit Plan, RSU plan. These resolutions for the company and for the subsidiaries consist of item number 4, 5, 6, and 7. Item number 8, appointment of Mr. TVG Krishnamurthy Venugopala Tenati as a director, independent director to the board. Granting of nomination rights to specific shareholders forming the last item. The text of these resolutions, along with explanatory statements, are provided in the notice circulated to the members. We now move ahead to the Q&A section. Moderator, over to you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. In order to give all the registered speaker members an opportunity to speak at the meeting, each speaker member will be allotted 3 minutes each. Members may note that in order to avoid repetition, all questions will be answered after all the registered speaker members have spoken. Request everyone to remain connected while we bring speaker shareholders online. Our first speaker shareholder, Mr. Manjeet Singh, had pre-registered for the AGM but has not joined. We will move to the next speaker shareholder. I will request the next speaker shareholder, that is Ms. Bharti Saraf. Kindly go ahead and ask your question, please. Would request you to accept the prompt on your screen, please.
Board members, my name is Bharti Saraf, a shareholder from Kolkata. Due to my ill health, I was not able to join today. I would like to thank you for letting me express my views through this recording. Sir, since our company's performance has been really good, I would like to thank all the stakeholders for this. I have a couple of queries. First of all, what is the company's plan for CapEx? And secondly, what is company doing with regards to women empowerment? Thank you.
Thank you. I will request the next shareholder, Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf. Kindly go ahead and ask your question, please. So may I request you to unmute your line from your side, please?
मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
माननीय सभापति जी, उपस्थित निदेशक मंडल के सदस्यगण, अधिकारी और कर्मचारीगण, मैं संतोष कुमार सराफ कलकत्ता से आप सभी को राम राम कहता हूँ। आशा करता हूँ आप लोग इस समय अच्छे स्वास्थ्य में होंगे। सर, ये कंपनी की पहली मीटिंग है, इसलिए मैं ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कहूँगा। काफ़ी अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है कंपनी। सिर्फ सर 2-3 मेरे, एक तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का हम किस प्रकार से यूज़ कर रहे हैं, इसके बारे में अगर कोई रिपोर्ट आप है आपके पास तो जरूर दीजिएगा सर। एक सर, अपने यहाँ टोटल इम्प्लाई करके 4600 कितने आपने लिखे हैं ऐसे तो और भी है अपने अमेरिका में, लेकिन इंडिया में 4600 कितने एम्प्लॉय आपने लिखे हैं सर, लेकिन इसमें फीमेल एम्प्लॉय कितने हैं इसके बारे में नहीं बताया सर। तो मेरा आइडिया सर, फ्यूचर में अगर फीमेल परसेंटेज बताएंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा। इससे हमें ये पता लगेगा कि फीमेल परसेंटेज हमारी कंपनी में कितना बनेगी, इसको नोट करिएगा सर। और सर, आपकी ये हमारी 25 साल जो हम बना रहे हैं, इसके लिए मैं हमारे जितने भी डायरेक्टर हैं, जितने भी हमारे अधिकारीगण हैं, और जितने भी हमारे कर्मचारी भाई बहन हैं, और जितने भी चाहे इंडिया में हो चाहे फॉरेन में हो, उन सभी का आभार प्रकट करता हूँ और भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ भगवान उन सभी को खुशी रखे। उनके साथ साथ में सर आपके और हमारे कर्मचारी भाई बहनों की फैमिली का भी आभार प्रकट करता हूँ, जो सदा उनके बैकबोन के रूप में सदा उनके साथ में खड़ी रहती है सर। सर, आपने पहला साल और आप काफी अच्छी परफॉर्म कर रही है और आपने हमारे स्वास्थ्य की रक्षा के लिए बहुत अच्छे कदम उठाए हैं। तो मैं जानना चाहूंगा सर, इस साल आपने क्या नया प्रोडक्ट एक तो लेके आए, इसके बारे में बताइएगा। इस साल अपना आरडी का एक्सपेंसेस का क्या बजट, इसके बारे में बताइएगा सर। अभी तक मैंने देखा, जहां तक गलत ना हो तो 13 एक्विजिशन आपने किए हैं, तो फर्दर और भी कंपनी एक्विजिशन करने की प्लानिंग है तो वो भी बताइएगा। और एक्विजिशन करते सर तो उसके लिए फंड किस तरह से जुगाड़ करेंगे? क्या आप अपने इंटरनल से जुगाड़ करेंगे या डेब्ट से जुगाड़ करेंगे या कोई फ्रेश इक्विटी इशू करके आप जुगाड़ करेंगे सर? है, इसकी व्यवस्था करिएगा, हम आपके साथ में हैं। अगर आप फर्स्ट फ्रेश इक्विटी भी लाते हैं तो हरदम आपके राइट इस हिसाब से हम आपके साथ में रहेंगे सर, क्योंकि हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है मनीष जी आपके और आपके लीडरशिप पे। इसलिए एक सर मैं ये जानना चाहूंगा कि अपने कई प्लांट हैं, तो यहाँ पर आपने जो सोलर पैनल है रूफ टॉप पे, उसकी अगर व्यवस्था की है तो जरूर बताइएगा। और उसकी प्रेजेंट कैपेसिटी क्या है इसके बारे में बताने की चेष्टा करिएगा सर। एक सर जो अपने एनर्जी है उसकी भी ऑडिट करवाते हैं तो बताइएगा। और उसकी एनर्जी में समझता हूँ कि आजकल साल में 2 बार करवाएंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा, उससे हमें अच्छा लगेगा कि हमारी एनर्जी कहीं बेकार तो नहीं हो रही सर। दूसरा सर, आजकल फायर एक्सीडेंट बातों बातों में हो जाते हैं, लोग कहते हैं शॉर्ट सर्किट, सीधा बहाना है कुछ भी हो जाए शॉर्ट सर्किट। तो मैं चाहूंगा अपनी जो फायर एंड सेफ्टी की भी ऑडिट ना 6 महीने या क्वार्टरली करवाएंगे तो अच्छा, खर्चा लगेगा लेकिन ये हमारी कंपनी के लिए और आपके लिए भी काफी अच्छा रहेगा सर। एक सर सीएसआर में हम खर्चा करते हैं, तो आजकल मैं देख रहा हूँ दुनिया के अंदर फेक एनजीओ बहुत आ गए कि फॉरेन से तो मोदी जी ने ब्रेक कर दिया फंड आना, अब लोग यहीं से करके अपना काम चलाते हैं। और एक आपको एडवाइस अच्छा लगे तो मानेगा, क्यों नहीं हम मिलिट्री के थ्रू हमारा खर्चा करें सीएसआर का, कि जो हमारे बॉर्डर एरिया में जो लोग रहते हैं उनको इसमें काफी प्रोविजन है, और मिलिट्री के थ्रू करेंगे तो आपको कोई ऑडिट की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी सर। एक सर कार्बन इमिशन के लिए क्या कदम उठाए, इस साल हमने कितना कार्बन इमिशन रिड्यूस किया है और हमारा जीरो टारगेट कब तक, इसके बारे में बताइएगा सर। एक सर ईएसजी की जो रेटिंग आपने करवाई है किसी रेटिंग एजेंसी से बताइएगा, और अगर रेटिंग कराए तो उसका स्कोर क्या है, और किसी लिस्टेड प्लेटफॉर्म पर उसको रजिस्टर करवाया तो ये भी बताने का कष्ट करिएगा सर। ज्यादा मैंने प्रश्न बहुत कर लिए, आपने 3 मिनट का टाइम दिया था, ये प्रश्न तो बहुत है क्योंकि पहली मीटिंग है और 25 साल बना रहे, तो आदमी कहते हैं ना खुशी के अंदर ध्यान नहीं देता क्या बोलते जा रहा हूँ मैं, क्या प्रश्न कर रहा हूँ सर। कुछ 1-2 डिस्प्यूट केसेस भी शायद इनकम से रिलेटेड है, मैं चाहूंगा उनको भी क्लीन करिए कि 2 केसेस के लिए क्यों हमारी बैलेंस शीट खराब लगे सर। और मैं ज्यादा कुछ नहीं, काफी समय दिया, आने वाले और भी हमारे भाई साहब बहुत कुछ पूछेंगे, मैंने नोट किया था मैं पढ़ना लेकिन इधर उधर चला गया, इसलिए मुझे जो याद था मैं पूछ रहा हूँ सर। तो ये है कि सर ये जरूर बता दें वुमन कितनी है, क्योंकि मैं फीमेल को बहुत ज्यादा चाहता हूँ और फीमेल को एम्पावरमेंट करना हमारे देश का भविष्य तैयार करने के बराबर है सर। एक बार हमारे मॉडरेटर को भी आभार प्रकट करता हूँ, एक कोरस की जो टीम है काफी अच्छी सर, इनकी सर्विस बेस्ट है। लास्ट ईयर हम बहुत तकलीफ पाए थे बेका से, तो फ्यूचर में इनको हायर करिएगा सर। और सर एक बार फिर आज जितने भी हमारे डायरेक्टर भाई बहन हैं, जितने भी हमारे कर्मचारी भाई बहन हैं, उनको फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2024-25 की शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ और भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ भगवान तो इस समय हेल्दी वेल्दी और पोषण के साथ है। एक सर जो आने वाले त्योहार है कल से शुरू हो जाएंगे चतुर्दशी आदि के, उन सभी की आपकी फैमिली जितने भी हमारे कर्मचारी उनकी फैमिली को के लिए विश करता हूँ कि भगवान ये त्योहार उनकी जिंदगी में बहुत खुशी लेके आए। इसके साथ साथ आने वाली जो खुशी हमारे कर्मचारी और आपके बीच में उसका भी आभार प्रकट करता हूँ। एक लास्ट रिक्वेस्ट है सर, हम भी आपके फैमिली के मेंबर हैं और पहली साल मीटिंग है, आपने हमें डिविडेंड के रूप में भी कुछ नहीं दिया, जबकि 6 रुपया पर शेयर की अर्निंग थी आपने। तो ये चाहूंगा कि इस दिवाली के त्योहार पे अपने दोस्तों के साथ में हम स्पीकर शेयर होल्डर को अगर मेंबर के हिसाब से फैमिली मेंबर मान के गिनेंगे और हमें याद करेंगे, जैसे उनको आप आदर सत्कार के साथ कुछ प्रदान करते तो हमें भी अगर भेजे तो काफी खुशी होगी। यही आपसे निवेदन है कि एजीएम के लिए तो मैं कह नहीं सकता कि रूल है, लेकिन दिवाली के लिए कोई रूल नहीं, अपने दोस्तों को सभी याद करते हैं। नमस्कार, राम राम। आपकी लंबी उम्र हो मनीष जी, अगले साल बीसी मीटिंग रखिए जिससे हमारे और आपके प्रति जो अच्छे काम कर रहे हैं आभार प्रकट करने का मौका मिलेगा। मॉडरेटर धन्यवाद देता हूँ, बहुत टाइम ज्यादा दिया उसके लिए उसको भी धन्यवाद है। नमस्कार।
थैंक यू सर। थैंक यू। I will now request the next speaker shareholder, Mr. Rajendra Jamnadas Sheth. Kindly go ahead and ask your question, please. Would request you to accept the prompt on your screen. Mr. Rajendra, may we request you to accept the prompt on your screen, please?
हेलो हेलो
Yes,
हेलो
sir. Please go ahead.
हाँ आवाज़ आ रहा है ना सर?
Yes, sir.
हेलो हाँ चेयरमैन सर, मैनेजमेंट टीम और शेयर होल्डर भाइयों, मैं राजेंद्र सेठ थाना महाराष्ट्र से बोल रहा हूँ। चेयरमैन श्री, मैंने ये कंपनी का आईपीओ में स्टॉक लिया, खरेखर मेरे को बेहद खुशी हुई और जो पिक्चर आपने कंपनी के बारे में बताया जान के अत्यंत में ऐसा हुआ कि मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट सही जगह है। और आपकी लीडरशिप में चेयरमैन सर, आपकी लीडरशिप में कंपनी और आगे बढ़ेगी, इसका मेरे को पूरा विश्वास है। सब रिजोल्यूशन में मैं पूरा सपोर्ट और हार्दिक शुभेच्छा देता हूँ। खाली एक ही छोटा सा क्वेश्चन था सर कि कई तरीके की प्रोडक्ट हमारी है, हमारा मेन कॉम्पिटिटर कौन है वो जरा बताइए। और अभी के बजट में हमारी कंपनी को इफेक्ट ऐसा कोई भी कलम आई है तो वो बताइए। बस बाकी तो सब रिजोल्यूशन में पूरा सपोर्ट, और सेक्रेटरी टीम का भी बहुत ही सुंदर काम रहा है, उसको भी धन्यवाद देता हूँ। और बस एक छोटा सा श्लोक बोल के मैं मेरी वाणी को विराम करूंगा। श्लोक एक ही लाइन का है, जरा सुनिए चेयरमैन सर। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शांति रूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। सब रिजोल्यूशन में मेरा पूरा सपोर्ट और हार्दिक शुभेच्छा बोलने का मौका दिया। धन्यवाद सर, धन्यवाद।
Thank you. I will request the next shareholder, Mr. Sardar Jasmeet Singh. Kindly go ahead and ask your question, please. Would request you to accept the prompt on your screen and unmute your audio and video, please.
मॉडरेटर, मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Respected Chairman, Shri Manish ji, other Board of Directors, and all the shareholders attending this video call, very good evening to you all. I'm Jasmeet Singh from Delhi. मनीष जी, जो आपने अभी प्रेजेंटेशन दिया, ये इतना डिटेल्ड प्रेजेंटेशन था, और मतलब मेरे को वैसे ये मैंने मीटिंग इसलिए अटेंड किया जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड अबाउट आवर कंपनी. I was having a wrong perception that we are a pure pharma company, but it turned out to be something different and very exciting. I have got allotment in the IPO, and I foresee a very bright future for our company. जो आपने इतनी डिटेल्ड प्रेजेंटेशन दी है, उसके बाद जो एक प्रीवियस जो शेयर होल्डर थे उन्होंने जो क्वेश्चनों की झड़ी लगा दी, तो मेरे मतलब मैंने उसमें कपल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आई वांटेड टू आस्क हैव ऑलरेडी बीन कवर्ड. I don't have much to say anything more on this. So I just want to I have understood the our area of operations, and I'm very say positive that we will go a long way. Today we are a small cap company, and it will not take much time for us to become a mid-sized company, and then in some few years then large cap. I wish you all the very best, and with these words I am stopping here. Thank you once again.
Thank you. I will request the next shareholder, Mr. Samrat Sarkar. Kindly go ahead and ask your question, please. May I request you to accept the prompt on your screen?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I have the following two questions. Number one, there was very muted growth in your enterprise commercial solution business in the last 2 quarters. Though I understand that we should not judge a business on a quarter-on-quarter basis. On a forward trajectory, how do you perceive this enterprise commercial solution business to grow in the next 2 years? And so my next question is, what are your aspirations for the next 5 years? And where do you see our company 5 to 10 years down the line? And what are the key risks that may prevent us from reaching our targets? That's it from my side. I wish our company all the best. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now request the next shareholder, Mr. Surendra Kumar Jain. Kindly go ahead and ask your question, please. Would request you to accept the prompt on your screen and unmute your audio and video. Mr. Surendra Jain, may we request you to accept the prompt on your screen and unmute your audio and video, please.
हेलो हेलो
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
चेयरमैन सर नमस्कार, मैं सुरेंद्र कुमार जैन नई दिल्ली से। सर मैं आज के सभी प्रस्तावित रेगुलेशन का समर्थन करता हूं। आगे आने वाले समय में हमारी कंपनी अच्छी तरक्की करे ऐसी कामना करता हूं। सर हमारी कंपनी आने वाले समय में क्या नया करने जा रही है बताइए। सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट का धन्यवाद करता हूं कि मुझे विषय के माध्यम से जोड़ा। सर स्पीकर शेयर होल्डर का ध्यान रखें। आगे आने वाले सभी फेस्टिवल और की ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। धन्यवाद सर।
Thank you. That was the last speaker shareholder for today.
So let's take all these questions one by one. First of all, thank you so much to all our shareholders for asking these important questions. First question we had was the question on company's plan for CapEx. Suhas, can I request you to talk about that?
Sure. Thanks, Manish. So the CapEx plan of the company was also part of our RHP. So over the next 3 years, both in India and in countries outside India, our overseas operations, a plan for expansion, both from a capacity perspective and the breadth of our presence perspective. We estimate that to have an investment outlay and therefore a capex of a little in excess of 100 crores, 103 to 105 crores to be precise, spread over 3 years. And most of this would be towards technology, computers, and such infrastructure, as well as a smaller portion towards the physical or infrastructure or office and physical capacity expansion, both in India and outside India.
Okay, so I think the extended part of the same question was women empowerment, and actually the next question from the shareholder was around percentage of women as part of our workforce. So I'm going to take both these together. So first of all, the percentage of women as part of our team ranges between that 43 to 45%. Right, so that's the number of women as part of our team members, which is pretty large. And if you compare it with any other IT company of that size, it's much higher, right, than what you see as averages. We also have been ranked as one of the best places to work for women for a very long period of time in multiple forums. And that's not for the last 1 or 2 years, but many years. That's been our record. The general environment, the flexibility, right? And many other things contribute to this. We also run 2 programs, DIVA and Athena, which are meant to drive more women empowerment, right? These are programs which focus on women health, career concerns, right? Family, various career enhancement programs, and many other things which we get to hear from our team members that are bothering them, right? So we get experts, we get them to focus on them. There have been very health screening programs, so many things done as part of DIVA and Athena over here. And that has resulted, many of these things coming together have resulted in this, us being ranked as one of the best places to work for women for a very long period of time. So that was the first part from Bharti Saraf. Now if I move to the next questions, which was from Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf. There were many questions over there. So let's get started. There was a part of the women thing which was asked earlier. There were multiple things on ESG, solar, right, our movement towards net zero, a bunch of things. So Swaz, can I just ask you to first address those, then we come back to the other questions.
Yes, thanks, Manish. So at Indegene, over the past many years now, we we pride ourselves as a very responsible organization contributing towards sustainability, environment, and various other social and governance initiatives. And over the period, we have formalized a lot of these practices. We have gone for external certifications and benchmarking to validate what we are doing and the progress that we make. We have been rated by EcoVadis over the last 3 years now, and the most recent rating lists us at score of 53, which is a bronze medal, and we are now striving to move further up the chain towards silver in the coming cycle or 2. Having said that, we have also gotten evaluations and frameworks built under CDP, SBTI, where we have committed to reduction of our emission. Our carbon footprint under scope 1 and 2 are actually only 2%, whereas scope 3, which is where third-party footprint that we occupy, is actually 98% of our carbon footprint. But having said that, we are committed to reduction of carbon footprint by 33% in scope 1 and 2 over the coming 5 years, and 20% of scope 3. 90% of our third-party footprint is actually in what we call green buildings. These are certified by reputed agencies like LEEDs, and the renewable energy in these buildings are getting commissioned. The 90% of our footprint there, we are working with the developer to have a 100 megawatt capacity of renewable energy in the near future, which should be a significant portion of the energy that we and the property in a whole consumes. And finally, on the employee and the ecosystem that works with us in all our locations, not just in India and overseas, we have adopted EHS, or Employee Health and Safety Framework, which also includes the fire and other safety aspects. We totally agree on the need to improve and enhance practices by increasing the frequency. But having said that, we are also looking at a sustainable practice. We have adopted ISO 45001 framework, and are on the anvil of going ahead with the certification for the same. So again, as a final comment, employee health and safety, ESG, are of significant focus at Indegene, and we look forward to continuing on this journey of improving and being a very responsible corporate, contributing positively to the environment overall.
Thank you, Suhas. Part of the same question was around new innovation, new products. And obviously around technology, various things were clubbed together in that question. So let me just take a broad view of this question. First of all, we, as I mentioned earlier, we as Indegene operate at the intersection of healthcare expertise, medical expertise, and technology expertise. We are a solutions company, not a product company. We have a line item called R&D in our budgets, which is part of G&A. We invest in technology tools and platforms, which are used by our teams and many times our clients to finally deliver more effectiveness and efficiency in their sales and marketing operations. These are platforms which we have built and continue to build over time. What we have done is that extensively deployed GenAI in some of our existing products. And these are products which have been called out in the RHP, the next suite of products on commercial content, regulatory, pharmacovigilance space. These have been built over time. We have also signed up a top 20 pharma company in commercial content on the back of some of the GenAI based tool we have developed for commercial content using GenAI. We also last year built our own GenAI, what we call GenAI Workbench. That is a natural language driven platform for subject matter experts, who are typically from a medical background or commercial background, to build use cases using GenAI. It is built and supported by the tech team, who don't need to be subject matter experts in the domain, but this enables domain subject matter experts to work on use cases without knowing the technology. This at one level at Indegene has democratized GenAI and unlocked multiple use cases for us. We are in the process of customizing this workbench to be also deployed with one of our clients. We are right now doing currently many POCs with our clients across medical writing, regulatory, and commercial, which can lead to further deployment of products and services across these clients. And a lot of them are GenAI based. So last year, as you can imagine, there was a lot of focus on GenAI in our existing suites and products. Outside of that, what we also did last time, we said that given the way AI is moving, we need to just make sure the entire organization is trained on GenAI. And while we build products that are going to be used by our clients and client-facing processes, we also want to make sure that this becomes part of our day-to-day ways of working, right? So pretty much the entire organization is being trained on GenAI, right? And teams starting from all of us sitting over here on the stage, right? To get comfortable with GenAI, think about using them in our various use cases. And there are different programs being run for different parts of the organization to be able to drive more efficiency and productivity. So that's some of the things which were done internally from a GenAI perspective. There was also a related question on acquisitions, right? As I had mentioned in my address earlier, that as Indegene, as a team, we have been very successful in acquisitions in the past. We have done multiple of those, identified the right acquisitions, got the transactions done at the right prices, worked with the teams, integrated the capability sets we have got with our solution set, used that to expand our offering, and then of course on the back of that grew clients, right, over here. We will continue to pursue acquisitions. We have an active corporate development team of people in the United States and Europe and in India. We have relationships with bankers across the board, and we approach this in a very proactive way. We are in touch with multiple companies, even if they are not acquisition candidates today, right? But we take a slightly long-term view over here. We also have a strong balance sheet today. We have around 1,400 crores in cash approximately, right? And zero debt now after having paid down the debt right after the IPO. So we believe, given especially the acquisitions we are considering, right, funds should not be an issue given our cash and balance sheet capacity. And given the size we are as a company today, and the very large market size I spoke about, growth is going to be a priority. And in that context, outside of everything else, organically, we'll continue to pursue acquisitions. So those are some of the questions as part of the third shareholder. Yeah, so the next question was on competition. What is competition for Indegene? As you can imagine, we operate in multiple segments, a very large industry, right? And geographies like the United States, Europe, which are pretty mature from this innovation-driven pharma company ecosystem. Some of the, to that extent, we have multiple, I would say, competition sets. On one hand, we are competing with the established, specialized healthcare agencies, right? A lot of our competition on the commercial side is with those companies. These are companies which are typically based out of the US or Europe, right? And are pretty much most of their teams over there. And they are specialized healthcare agencies, right? Focus on marketing, communications, and things like that. That's one set of competition. The other set of competition are the CROs, right? Clinical research organizations on the medical side. These are companies who do clinical trials, and as a part of that, they have medical expertise, and hence they extend into medical affairs, regulatory, and pharmacovigilance also. So that's the second set of competition. And there are very large companies in this space as well, right? Many of them are multi-billion dollars in revenue. The third set are very few global IT companies, right? Who also, through acquisitions for a very long period of time, have built some capabilities in these areas. So those are three competition sets from our perspective. There is also a question on impact of budget. We don't see any impact from the budget on our performance right now. But Suhas, you want to add any perspective over there?
Sure, Manish. So Manish already mentioned in his introductory comments that more than 90%, actually more than 96% of our revenues are generated from US and Europe. That's the environment in which our customers operate, and hence any impact to the customer and the industry segment from the budget in India tends to be fairly limited. Having said that, from operations perspective, India is the largest operation center for Indegene, and of course we are headquartered here, and the stakeholders, investors, a lot of them are domiciled in India, and therefore any aspect of the budget which impacts us from a operating environment in India and the investor stakeholder segment in India is what impacts us. It has been largely a positive, stable impact from an operating perspective. See that the budget is only encouraging businesses to operate out of India, and that would apply to us as well. And a minor comment from an investor perspective is changes in the tax regulations around capital gains, buyback taxes, the way it impacts any India domiciled or any investor investing in an Indian company is the impact to Indegene as well. Nothing which is a standout impacting Indegene's business or the segment that we operate in.
Thank you, Suhas. There were questions from Samrat on the enterprise commercial services solutions business growth. There was also a question on aspirations over the next 5-10 years. Let me just club these two together. While enterprise commercial solutions, which is the largest segment, had muted growth last year, we are bullish about the business, right, over a medium to long term. This is a business which grew very rapidly between 2020 and 2024, or let's call it 2023. Grew many times over, right? We acquired customers, grew multiple customers, and in context of that, there was a bit of a year of consolidation and time of consolidation. But the conversations we have with our clients and how we think the industry is shaping up, we believe this is a business which will have continue to have bright prospects over a medium to long term, and we continue to invest in this business. Some of the factors that are driving that, as I said, more and more shift towards digital, which is going only in one direction, and that's up, right? Percentage of spends on digital channels increasing. As companies are doing more digital, they are realizing it's complex and a very decentralized model, which pharma has followed for a very long period of time. And what I mean by decentralized is that every country for a global pharma company doing their own thing, within every country, every brand doing their own thing, is probably not the best way to do digital at scale, right? And the companies are realizing that. And to that extent, they are driving centralization in many of their processes. And that is the genesis and the main place where our enterprise commercial solution business operates and gets entry from. We believe that trend also is going to continue to play out, right? Centralization in this whole thing will continue to play out. So combination of digital and centralization, use of more technology, all these things will drive the growth of the enterprise commercial solutions business in the medium to long term. As far as aspirations is concerned, we believe there is a very large company to be created and a very differentiated company to be created over the next 5 to 10 years, right, out of India in the space we operate in. It's a very large space. It's a very important industry for everyone. And we are very proud to be playing in this industry and playing our role in that. Given the size where we are at right now, while it's small, we also have very differentiated capabilities, a technology, tool set, platforms, which again are differentiated, a team which is as one of the most talented teams in this industry, a client base which is very, very strong. All the stuff we believe will come together to enable us to drive growth over the next 5 to 10 years, and we'll be a much more larger company. So that's the medium, let's call it 5 to 10 year time frame. I think Sroin, did I miss out? Yeah, so the next was around new initiatives or new offerings. I spoke about one of them, the whole GenAI focus. I think that's an important initiative across the board. The other important initiatives which we are driving across the board are increasing our capabilities, or essentially, as I alluded earlier, that one of the things we do apart from technology and capability investment and tool investment is look at all our offerings and make sure they're relevant for the global pharma industry, right? And to that extent, we look at our commercial offerings and see where is the industry going, what are the capability sets we require. So we've added a bunch of capability sets over there. We have done the similar thing on the medical side of our business, and by the way, all sets, regulatory, safety, right, and medical affairs. Towards the end of the last financial year, we had done a tuck-in acquisition of a company called Trilogy Writing, which is based out of Frankfurt, Cambridge, and some presence in the United States, which very specialized regulatory writing capabilities. So that's an acquisition we had done and increased our footprint and capabilities in that area. So across the board, we've been making investments in these areas. We also made, while it's a very small segment for us and sits in others, the whole segment around clinical trials, we believe over the next 5-10 years is going to be an important category for us. we continue to make investments in that. We build various tools, we acquired more customers, and we continue to make investments in that area. So that's broadly some of the new initiatives for us as a company we drove last year. You want to double click on anything else to us, and especially more internal focused as well?
Sure. Having talked about the forays into newer things, a lot of these would be embedded and incorporated into our existing businesses and existing segments, such that we enhance our sphere or scope of work with our customers by going upstream, further upstream, or adding capabilities downstream, and making the suite a lot more holistic. And therefore, we don't anticipate a significant change in the business proportions between the segments that we are talking. Having said that, the smaller segments like clinical that Manish mentioned, given just the base effect, should grow at hopefully a higher percentage than the rest, but not materially change the offerings and the product suite of the company from the current situation, at least over the next 2 to 3 years.
You also want to talk about some of the productivity initiatives. I think that's something which you yourself focused on a lot last year.
So we have had a lot of interesting initiatives around using RPA and even more recently Gen AI platforms, contextualizing it for the industry, and more importantly for the kind of work that we do in training these platforms, making it relevant for the industry. And therefore, these have over period improved the quality of the deliverable, but also more importantly, the experience and efficiency of the work that we do with our customers. It would be even on things like software coding or HTML code generation, to creatives, to even medical writing. And these are today already working in different environments, in different client environments in the company. So this is something that we feel proud about, having used some of these new technologies to create an impact with our customers and the industry as a whole.
Thank you, Suhas. So I believe we have covered all the questions. Thank you for raising all these really important questions. I hope we have answered everything on behalf of the board and on behalf of the management. I will now authorize Srishti Kaushik, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer, to conduct the voting procedure and conclude the meeting. Members may note the e-voting on the NSDL platform will continue to be available for the next 30 minutes. Members who have not cast their vote yet are requested to do so. The results shall be declared within 2 days. I hereby authorize the Company Secretary to declare the results of the voting and to place the same on the website of the company. The results shall be placed on the company's website and also on the website of NSDL and communicated to the stock exchanges. The resolutions are deemed to have been passed today, subject to the receipt of votes in favor. I sincerely thank the shareholders for attending the meeting and for their continued support. I also thank each of our directors who are present for joining the meeting remotely. With your consent, and I and other board members who like to leave the meeting, I request all shareholders to stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you so much for your belief in the company, which all of us won collectively. Thank you so much. Shrishti.
Thank you, Manish. With your consent, we would like to end this meeting now. As mentioned, the e-voting facility will be kept open for 30 minutes. We request you to cast your vote, if not already done so. Thank you for your continued support to the company, and we look forward to seeing all of you at the next annual general meeting. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.
Thank you.